Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find: happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
It's weird when you get a stalker. I'll never forget, I met her. She was outside, and she's a stalker, so, not hot. That's just what you picture when you picture a stalker. If they were hot, they wouldn't be a stalker. They'd be my girlfriend.
From Saturday Night Live, his Netflix specials, and Peacock's Bupkis, Pete Davidson, live, Friday, April 10th, the venue at Thunder Valley. Get tickets now at ThunderValleyResort.com. Pete Davidson, live.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank Larosa.
If you struggle with alignment off the tee, Golf.com's Zephyr Melton has a fix. If you aren't aimed where you think you are, you're putting yourself in a poor position before you even swing the club. Sometimes your brain will play tricks on you and make you feel like you're aimed one way when in reality you are aligned in a totally different spot. There are only two areas where you get to place your ball before you hit a shot: the green and the tee box. On the green, you always line up your ball when you place it down, so why not do the same thing on the tee box? Try pointing the logo or your Sharpie line down the target line. If you want to get your ball lined up even more precisely, try choosing an intermediate target in between your ball and the distant target, maybe a discoloration in the grass or divot, and then use that as an intermediate target. With that spot picked out, line your ball up pointing right at it. So long as you orient the ball correctly when you place it, you can swing away knowing you're aimed at your target. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the Drive, baby.
The Drive Guys, Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles. It's drive time with the Drive Guys.
The show is short and the injury list is long. I don't even know, Alan, if we went through the injury list, which we'll try here. Do we even have time to do that?
I don't know that we do.
With game night coming up, bottom of the hour. Oh, we have Russell Westbrook out, Domantas, of course, out, Keegan out, Zach LaVine out, DeAndre Hunter out, Drew Eubanks out, Nick Clifford out, left foot soreness, Killian Hayes questionable with left foot soreness, Precious Achiuwa questionable, lower back soreness, Daquan Plowden probable as the Kings take on the Hornets tonight. Who's out now? Hayes. Killian Hayes is out now. Thank you, Kyle Ledbetter. So, I'm wondering if we're going to see a lot of Dylan Cardwell and Max Reno on the floor at the same time.
Well, I mean, that's the one combination that we'd all like to see more of, just to see how that's going to work. But I do wonder, Whitey, is this a day that other fans will keep an eye on? Like the NBA Twitter world? Are there going to be some people out there saying, whoa, Kings, maybe they should be getting a call from someone?
At this point, I think you're under the radar,
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, that
There's
lasted
10 games
for what?
to go, and yeah.
It was hot when, the two teams got fined, but now there's all this other stuff going on with the NBA, Players Association, and Cade Cunningham, and all they want to do to try to fix with the end of the year awards. So yeah, nobody's thinking about a 4:00 game in Charlotte, right? No one's thinking about that.
Mm-hmm. The Pacers, by the way, I'm sure you know, they actually won last night.
They did.
Mm-hmm.
So that is, I don't know how helpful it is at this point, but better than nothing.
So maybe you can help us out with something here, Alan, because now we've got 10 games to go for the Kings, 10 games to go for Utah. Right now, of course, it's Indiana, Washington, Brooklyn, Sacramento, Utah in terms of the lottery standings. The Kings are 2 games back of Brooklyn. Let's just worry about the rearview mirror right now. So Sacramento, with a tougher schedule, how many games do you think that – we're not going to hold you to this if it doesn't end up to be true. How many games do you think the Kings are going to win the rest of the way of the last 10?
With 10?
If you want to look it up there, you can, but don't mean to put you on the spot. Just trying to get an idea here. How many games can the Kings win and still be safe in the 4th spot?
Well,
maybe they don't care, but I think they should.
Yeah, well, the one thing we were just looking at, and man, wishing all the best for Moses Moody.
Yeah.
So the Kings have the Warriors twice before it's all said and done. They still have a game against they have another game against the Nets. But besides that, now they, changing their situation with this Hornets game today with everyone that's injured.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, and I don't know what's worse, to say more or less, to sound more respectful or less disrespectful. But honestly, Whitey, I would probably say I don't see them getting more than 3.
Okay, so if they got 3, that would put them at 22 wins?
Yeah.
Yeah, 22 wins. Utah's at 21 right now.
I'm closer to 2 than 3 wins, by the way, because I know they're going to beat the Nets, and I think they're going to win one of those games against the Warriors, because I don't know what they're going to do with Steph. But I don't think they're going to sweep the Warriors. And I don't know, just between the Pelicans and the Blazers, I just think something could get squirrely here. Even the Magic, you never know.
Okay, so if Sacramento wins 3 and gets to 22, then Utah, to finish better than the Kings in the lottery standings, would have to lose out. And by the way, if they tie, if they end up with the same win total, what was that? Something squeak? Something or someone squeaking? If they end up with the same win total, they flip a coin. Or actually, they call it a random draw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what the Kings didn't the Kings and the Hawks just have one of those a couple years ago? Anyway, when it comes to the lottery standings, if you end up with the same win total as another team, random draw to determine who gets the more favorable
I
slot.
like that. That's just like high school football, Where are we playing the home or away game for the state championship?
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking here, and this is what I had mentioned to you yesterday. Here's the thing with the Jazz, though, Whitey. It's going to come down to this very next game because you know who they have? The Wizards.
Oh, yeah.
After that, Nuggets, Suns, Cavs, Nuggets, Rockets, Thunder, Pelicans, Grizzlies, Lakers. So
what do you think? 2 wins in there for them?
If they do, if it would be the Wizards and the Grizzlies, right? Those would be the 2.
Yeah, so that would get them, they win 2, they're at 23, so Sacramento has a little wiggle room still here.
Yeah, I mean,
and
it
again,
ain't much.
It doesn't guarantee anything, but I think you'd rather be 4th than 5th, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we've kind of worked around those margins where if we're not having a conversation about the Pacers, and I'm so glad, I'm not saying that, we started it here on these airwaves, but now all of a sudden, I'm seeing people bag on the Pacers. I'm starting to see that. I didn't see it early, but I think people are looking around thinking, because I know they won yesterday, and Pascal Siakam, he's been kind of in and out a little bit, and he said, hey, thank you to the fans for sticking with us. But I don't know I just think now that we're getting closer to the lottery, everyone's looking around and thinking, how did the Pacers end up in this position? But it was real quiet at first, Whitey, but it's starting to get a little bit louder now.
Like I said, I don't have that. I don't have a problem with it. They beat the Magic 128-126, 37-6 for Siakam. So they're at 16 wins now. So I don't know. I mean, mathematically, the Kings could still move up, but that's going to be hard to do with only 10 games to go.
Well, and I wonder, and we got to be careful here, I wonder if we will see more lineups like today moving forward. That's probably the best way I can say it. Are we going to see more lineups like today moving forward, or is today one of those one-offs where, you never know what could happen, so let's not mess around and, let's keep everybody healthy and safe today.
Sunday, you've got Brooklyn again for the second Sunday in a row. That could be a big game if you're concerned about your standing in the lottery.
Whitey, there's nothing that they – here's a good question. If they had this many guys injured on Sunday, and it was a close game against Brooklyn, could Brooklyn maybe get it done?
I don't know.
You know me. I've been saying that they were going to win those 2 Nets games. That's already counted to me.
Right. Yes, I know. You've been saying that. The tricky part, as we all know, is the Kings love nothing as much as they love Darius Acuff, and he's going first or second here, so I don't know if they're even going to get their guy Acuff.
Why are you trying to get me?
Everybody loves Acuff.
Why are you trying to get me going here?
Everybody's crazy about Acuff.
We don't have enough time to get it going here. Well, look, he's got the cornrows. He's got the swag. He was with Allen Iverson, and Allen Iverson says he's him or whatever he said. Then today it gets announced that he's signing a deal with Reebok, and that's who Allen Iverson was signed with. I had those shoes. That was 6th, 7th grade. Whitey, I had cornrows myself. I had to look just like AI, so he is going in that direction, the Allen Iverson type guy, and now we can have the conversations. Well, if he is Allen Iverson didn't win a championship, so what does that mean? I don't know, Whitey.
He came pretty close, though.
He came
a
pretty
lot
darn close.
closer than he had any business.
Yeah.
Against the Lakers that year. That was an amazing series.
And Darius Acuff probably won't be Allen Iverson with all that being said. But now that all the think pieces that are going on about Darius Acuff, well, you can't draft him if Maxime Reynaud is on the team because defensively you can't have both of these guys. And then people are coming out saying, well, the Kings shouldn't be avoiding drafting anyone because of Maxime Reynaud. So all these think pieces yesterday about Darius Acuff Jr.
From some of the video I've seen, I know Dave was referencing this very video today on the morning show on the Jason Ross show with Christopher Laud. Carmichael Dave may appear, but he was wondering, about how can you draft a guy such a bad defender? And I've seen the same video; it's gone viral, of course. I don't think he can be as bad at the NBA level defensively, Acuff, that is, as he is in some of those videos. Because in some of the videos, he just does not care where his man is.
No.
He's like oblivious. It's just not something he's even paying attention to.
Yeah.
Obviously, at the next level, he's going to have to know who he's guarding and where they are.
Right. Or at least pretend to care for a half second. You know what? It feels like we've now moved on. Everyone's already destroyed Darren Peterson. So who's next on the hit list?
It's so funny.
Who's next on the? Well, no. Here we go. They already destroyed Darren Peterson's character.
A lot of people hate Darren Peterson.
Cam Boozer is unathletic.
Yeah.
And is never going to be better than his
traffic
father.
cone.
And now you have Darius Acuff, who is allergic to any semblance of defense. So again, now this draft group is no longer going to be the 03 draft group.
DeBonce has been the one who's been immune to any of that.
That's right. Get in, get out.
Yeah.
Score big in one game. Get leapfrog the next, and now he just hangs out.
A lot of it is because people just admire the way he appears to have just gone to BYU, a smaller school, because he wanted to lift the school up, and people admire that.
Oh, yeah. He's a leader.
Whereas Darren Peterson, he doesn't even play.
Yeah, he doesn't even like his teammates.
He's overrated. I saw somebody on X. He's the most overrated prospect I've ever seen.
Yeah. What? There is a line though, right? He can't go after 4. There's no way. There's no way.
I wouldn't think so. Do you remember, speaking of Acuff, we had I forget who it was, a draft expert who was on here. I think he was from No Ceiling, and he said, this was before Acuff Mania really hit, and he said, I'm watching this guy Acuff. I'm like, oh, yeah. At that point, Acuff was behind all the other point guards. And he said, he reminds me a lot of Mike Bibby. Do you remember that? And we're like, oh, that's interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you
Now if
still
you said
think
that,
that?
people say, he's way better
Right.
than Mike Vincent.
That is disrespectful
Yeah.
to Acuff.
Yeah.
He is Allen Iverson. That's who he is. I do wonder now, are we going to head into this Sweet 16 with all of these decisions? Because we've had on a lot of analysts, and a lot of them have said the March Madness decisions shouldn't change too much, right? Like if you had Kingston Fleming's 5, maybe you take him at 4, but nobody should be rising and dropping this much. But I feel like all of this is based on what's going to happen, or a lot of it is going to happen this weekend.
I agree with you, but the fact of the matter is that player stocks rise and fall based on what they do at the combine.
Yeah.
So if that's going to matter, then I guess how they play in the biggest games should matter more than that, right?
Right. That's true.
Some of that I know is just the media hype. I remember when Zach Edey was at the combine, and you said, Zach Edey scored 8 points today in a scrimmage.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Right. Well, it's funny because if I'm not mistaken, and I know he sat out. He had not a Darren Peterson type situation, but Jalen Johnson at 6'9" or whatever he is. Do you remember, I believe it was Jalen Johnson when he made 12 threes in a row, 12 corner threes, but he didn't actually go anywhere. He still went later in the draft. So it's funny who they pick and choose with. And, for Caleb Wilson to not be able to play, even though they could have got bounced out in the first weekend and it wouldn't have made a huge difference, it does feel like there are a lot of guys that are going to be able to make themselves a lot of money starting on Thursday.
I hope this is a fun game tonight. I hope the Kings are able to be competitive with all the injuries against a Charlotte team that's already beaten them here. And Charlotte's fun to watch, but Charlotte, to me, I've probably made this point before, it's a real important lesson. You look at Charlotte and realize, wow, they have a lot of talent, but it's taken them a long time to accumulate and gather all this talent, and still they're better than they've been, but they're not great by any stretch.
No.
So it's a little sobering when you look at what the Kings are doing through the lens of how the Hornets have gotten just to where they even are right now.
Right, so you're telling me, so we have to wait 4 years to maybe make the playoffs?
I hope not, but that's kind of the lesson of
in the East.
Of the Hornets, yeah.
In the East, that's a huge difference. So I don't know. That goes back, and we're gonna have to start a hybrid rebuild counter. Every time I say that, we're gonna have to count how many times I say it throughout the show. Because I'm gonna try not to say it for the rest of the day, Whitey.
Okay.
I'm gonna try. It's only one segment.
Yeah, it's like 13 minutes.
I don't know if I can make it.
I don't think you can.
Because I'm looking at what the Hornets have done, and in my mind, that is not a good example or the best example out there. Maybe it's a more realistic example, but everyone thinks, well, we're going to be OKC. Oh, we're just going to be able to turn things around. Look at the Blazers. This was supposed to be their season. They've done more things right, I think, besides wrong, and the one was probably Scoot Henderson, we think, and they're not a thought.
Yeah, it is funny. We all say it. We've all said it. You want to pattern your rebuild after this team or that team. And in theory, yeah, that sounds great. But you can't do that.
No.
There's just so many variables. On the other hand, maybe this is encouraging for Kings fans. Charlotte has had a lot of talent. They've been accumulating talent. They haven't been very good. But they hit the jackpot in the lottery last year where they got the presumptive rookie of the year. Con Knipple. One guy can accelerate everything, Alan.
We got a hit.
Yes.
You got a hit, and that's a really good hit.
So you're saying if you get Acuff.
I'm not saying that.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought that's where you were going.
If Acuff is your guy, and if you're right on that, all of the different, I've heard that, all right, let's just go through this. Acuff is Allen Iverson. He's Darius Garland. He's Donovan Mitchell. He's Trae Young. How can I forget that one? He's some version of Ja Morant. I don't know what I'm watching. Do you think this Darius Acuff game, when they take on Arizona, do you think it could be one of the most viewed games or the most viewed game in the Sweet 16?
I would think so. Yeah. I mean, but Duke, Duke is Duke.
Duke is Duke.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, and somebody brought up he could go, talking about Darren Peterson, he could go after Caleb Wilson because somebody likes the size. You could see, because he's on the sideline now, a lot of these guys still playing, you could go the Bansa 1, Boozer 2, Acuff 3, Caleb 4,
Uh-oh.
and Darren 5. How did that happen?
If you could only watch one Sweet 16 matchup, which one are you picking?
Who else would it be? It's got to be Darius Acuff.
Yeah, I think I'd go Houston, Illinois.
Well, that's because you want to see that you're on your Keaton Wagler hype now.
And my guy, Kingston as well.
That's right.
Yeah, I got two guys.
They're battling for your love. That's what they're battling for.
That's right. Which one of you deserves my affection?
That's right.
Settling on the hardwood.
Do you think it's funny that if these teams don't have somebody that is a draft pick, me personally, I don't care as much at all. I got to be honest with you, because let's take Michigan State, for example. Michigan State has been, top 10, top 15 all season long, but I'm looking and I'm thinking, okay, Michigan State, UConn, anybody in the top? Well, I know UConn does have one kid at the back of the top 10, but I'm looking at some of these, Texas, Purdue, and I'm just not as interested in them. I'm not.
To your point, Braylon Mullins, shooting guard for UConn.
Yeah.
He's projected to go 12th here.
Yeah, we'll watch him.
No, I'm with you on that. I feel like, it just doesn't have the snap.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You look at Arizona and Arkansas, that's probably the one. Even Koa Pete turning it around a little bit as well. So that's the game. Mm-hmm. That is the game.
Mm-hmm. As we look to the future, Alan, we need from you, and we can all, it's an all play, 0 to 10 here on these players on the Kings roster. Mm-hmm. Nothing against anybody. They're all outstanding people and players. But how vital and important are these players to the Kings' future? 0's like just not part of the future. Mm-hmm. 10, absolutely an essential part of the future. For example, I would argue Maxime Reynaud is, some of it is how you feel, some of it is guessing how the organization feels. He's a 10, right? He's going to be part of the organization going forward.
Right.
Maybe, would you consider, I know people get a little goofy on social media, would you even consider trading him this offseason? I can't imagine anyone would offer anything that would make you think about moving. Yeah.
I wouldn't, but, I will say, though, I just saw this with the Miami Heat, okay? And I got a name for you.
Okay.
They just paid this guy, okay? Nikola Jovic. So Jovic, I guess, allegedly or reportedly was held out of Kevin Durant conversations. And, the Heat, they don't want to tank. That's not what they do. But they didn't want to move Jaime Jaquez.
You do it 15, what you're going to do at 2.
Was it 15 or 14? Doesn't matter. They didn't want to move Jaime Jaquez. They didn't want to move Jovic. And that's fine. But all these young guys, they're big deals until they're not. So the only reason I bring that up is if there was enough buzz around Maxime Reynaud, Whitey, we talked about some of the establishments.
Give him a 9 then. Give him a 9 or an 8. I'm giving him a 10.
I can give him a 10.
Okay.
But if there's the right price.
Yeah. Well, I understand that. By the way, don't you think with the Heat, some of it is that Heat arrogance where they think, look, once a guy's been in our system a while.
Oh, yeah.
He is imbued with that Heat culture.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't want to waste that on some other team.
No. We can't trade off.
We've given him these superpowers that he can only get here. We're not going to spin that off to somebody else.
It's kind of Niners of them. There's a little bit of Niners in there.
Maybe.
A little bit of Niners in there.
DeMar DeRozan.
I mean, it's almost incomplete, or I don't want to say 0, but
you can. Again, we're not disrespecting any of the players. It's just fitting into what the Kings are doing.
You know what?
I'd put him at about a 3 or 4 just because I could see how. All right, if it doesn't work out, he's got some value here.
Yeah, I'll go 3.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. Keegan
Murray.
Thank you, Kyle Ledbetter. I'm giving him an 8. I want him around. I see how he fits in. But if somebody has something that they want to dangle in terms of getting back into the draft, I'd listen. But he's a big part of my future.
Yeah, I mean, I think timing was
a very good score.
Timing was a big deal when it comes to the Keegan deal that they made. I don't know if they fully gave him that money or that contract simply because they are just absolutely in love with him. You know what they say, Whitey? Timing in life is everything. I'm going to go 7 for Keegan Murray. Yeah. I think it was more about situation, I'll be honest. That's just my thoughts on it. No reports here. Not yet.
Zach LaVine. I have to put him at a 6 because I think there's a very good chance he's going to be here whether you want him to be or not, so you might as well make the most of it.
He's a 5.
Okay. Nick Clifford. I'm giving him a solid. I think they like him a lot. I think that there's a lot of equity there with the new front office. I give him an 8.
I give him a 6.
What?
Yeah.
I'm trying not to show that I'm shocked and stunned. 6 seems low. Why?
I think that they are excited, but to me,
you seem unimpressed.
Well, to me, it's
that's
more
fair.
To me, it's more about, can I find a version of you somewhere? How hard is it to find a player like you? So the reason I'm not going to give him an 8 is because I think if the Kings looked hard enough, they could find another player like Nick Clifford. That's
Really?
why I can't go over. Definitely not going over a 7.
Well, to compensate for your egregiously low number, I'm going to bump mine up to a 9. I can't believe
But
it.
you don't even believe that.
I have to, though. I have to balance out your 6.
No, you don't have to.
Which is almost criminal.
It's not criminal.
Domantas Sabonis. He might have sold one of his houses or something.
Yeah, El Dorado Hills. Yeah.
Which is, I don't know why that's a thing. Good for him. Were you interested in that house, by the way?
Well, yeah. I love EDH.
Yeah.
I'm going to get out there.
Okay.
Since you're always sending me pictures of you in your pool, I want one for myself. I will say, yeah, if I'm giving Nick a 6, I'll move Nick to a 7.
Okay, then I'm back down to an 8.
I'll move Nick to a 7, and and Domantas Sabonis is a 6.
I feel bad. I feel like I twisted your arm.
Well, I can't make Nick and Domas the same number.
Oh, okay. So what did you give Domas?
He's a 6. Now, are you saying the importance, this is in no way, shape, or form, well, what if we he's important to our future because we could trade him for picks? You're not saying that. You're saying the actual
part
player.
of the team. Yeah.
Actual player.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to go 6.
Very uncomplicated. That's a great point you raised, but also it's not like, well, this guy's easier to keep. It's like, no. Just
okay.
How vital are they to your
on
future
the court
going forward? Yes.
Yeah, we'll go 6 there.
Yeah, I'd go 5 because I'd probably rather move off of him. But if I don't, obviously there's real value there. So I could go either way. How about Precious Achua? I'm going 7.
Yeah. 7.
We've got you all the way up to a 7 on Precious. I feel like I've accomplished something.
Look, he's been playing really well. Now, I know. Now, here's the thing, though. There is a level, and we've gone back and forth on this, on what you should pay Precious. If somebody in a better cap situation wants to pay him, you gotta let him go. Right. You cannot overpay for Precious.
Yeah, and we're just ranking these players in terms of how vital they are to your future. This isn't a ranking of who's had the better year or who's the better player.
Right.
Just like 10, Maxime Renaud, he's part of your future. So that's all we're looking at here.
Yeah. So I'll rock with a 7.
I'd like to go higher, but I just feel like he's gonna have some options.
That's what I'm saying. Higher is I will get into a bidding war in order to keep him, and I don't think the Kings will do that.
How about Malik Monk?
5, maybe a 4.
Wow, I'm kind of with you, and that's your guy. I know you talked to him.
I mean, I'm not
I talked to him the media day before that.
I'm not the one that keeps putting him on the trade table. So how can I say anything over 5? They keep trying to trade him.
Ooh, it's a tough one, isn't it? Fans love him. I'm gonna just go a 6 there, and then my guy Dylan Cardwell.
This is an interesting one.
I think he's a big part of the future. I would put a 10 by him because fans.
10?
Yes, because I need a backup. I need the center. I need the things he brings me, and fans love him, and that's really important right now. I'm trying to reestablish, that relationship with fans. Go ahead, put what you want.
You think he's more important than Nick? Sounds like you do.
More important in the future. I just think he's more. I think it's pretty even. I'm going to go ahead and move Nick up to a 9. Dylan Cardwell 10.
I'll go.
Say what you want. Go ahead and do what you want. Don't listen to me.
I'll go 8.
8. Okay.
I'll go 8.
All right.
Because, again, you need a shot blocker. You haven't had something like that before.
Thank you, Alan. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah. We left it all on the We did. Field today.
We did.
Stick around. Thank you, Kyle. We've got game night next. Getting ready for Kings and Hornets on Sactown Sports.
Progressive knows you could have easily taken the freeway, but you took the scenic route to see a waterfall and an oddly busy boiled peanut stand. Discovering the unexpected is exactly why you bought an RV, so protect it with a bundle from Progressive. Because although you may be 3 hours behind schedule, you're 6 jars of jam richer and possibly enrolled in a butter churning workshop. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Jackson Hewitt has a great tax prep deal, $149 or less. Missing out is like ignoring the check engine light in your car. You'll regret it. Seriously, the price is only $149 or less, no matter how complicated, so don't wait. Like when you get a password expires today alert or you're shopping online and there's only one item left. It's like your taxes are in the cart, just complete the purchase. Hurry! This deal for $149 or less is like your phone at 1%. It's about to power down. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
When life calls for a little extra, a kitchen upgrade, paying off debt, or that dream vacation, Valley Strong Credit Union is here to help. With a Valley Strong home equity loan, you can tap into your home's value with competitive rates, flexible terms, and local guidance you can trust. Get approved in as little as 5 minutes, with funding in as few as 5 days. Your goals are within reach. Visit valleystrong.com to get your offer today. Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your possibilities. Equal housing lender, NMLS number 456506.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 916-277-8599 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Baseball is back in Sacramento, and the party starts now at Sutter Health Park. Join the Sacramento River Cats this weekend as we open the season with exciting baseball, special giveaways, and can't miss promotions. Opening weekend is here. Grab your tickets at rivercats.com.
There's the hard way to buy a car, and then there's the Hoblet way. Transparent prices, fast paperwork, and a team that's there to help, not hover. We've spent 77 years refining this process so you can get in, get out, and get driving with zero drama. Car buying doesn't have to be stressful. At least, not when you do it the Hoblet way. Experience the difference at HobletDodge.com. The easy way to buy.
It's time for the madness, and your HVAC system is in a full court press. Cold mornings, warm afternoons, your heater and AC are battling, and your system is working overtime. Don't let your comfort get knocked out. Score Brower Mechanical's Madness BOGO Special. Buy a heating maintenance and get a free AC maintenance for just $89. Call 916-352-3113. Brower Mechanical. Residential and commercial HVAC sales and service. License number 1081055.
Tune in every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the Toyota Tahoe Report with Johnny Mosley and me, Elena, bringing you the latest weather conditions up at Tahoe. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers, Toyota. Let's go places.
Russell Peters, Relax World Tour.
I go, my parents are from India. She goes, oh, India. See, I knew India. Indian people, you have a big eyes and long eyelash like a cow. Wow, 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 wow.
Saturday, April 18th, 8 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley.
Wow, 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 wow. I didn't know what to do. I just tipped her and thank you, bye-bye, and I left.
For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Russell Peters, Relax World Tour.
It's time for game night, getting you ready for Sacramento Kings basketball.
He's got the bucket!
Game night is presented by Power Business Technology, your locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or visit them at powercopiers.com. Here's your host, Scott Marsh, alongside the high flyer, Henry Turner.
And a very pleasant good afternoon to you. Welcome into game day right here, Sactown Sports 1140. Scott Marshall along with the high flyer Henry Turner. I'm coming to you live from our Sactown Sports Studios. High flyer out on the road in Charlotte with the team. He'll be a part of all 5 games on this road trip. Looking forward to that. He'll be with the G-Man for the call. Kings coming off the win at home. They hold on to beat Brooklyn by 4 on Sunday afternoon. Kings getting their 19th win of the year, 19-53. Hard to believe. We are in the home stretch here. Just 10 games remaining for the Kings. 7 of those will be on the road, 3 at home. Sacramento, as you've heard if you've been listening to Sactown all day long. It's going to be another undermanned roster for Sacramento. 8 men suiting up tonight. We'll get into all of that. We'll be with you until 3:30 today, getting you ready for Kings Live pregame. But let's first go out to Charlotte. High Flyer, how are you, my friend?
Oh, man, I'm doing good. I'm sitting up here, I guess I can say, in the Hornets' nest.
You're literally in the Hornets' nest. Okay, what's the view like in Charlotte where you guys are at?
Great view. We're not quite to the second level, but right up under it. We're center court, pretty much. I mean, I'm sitting like almost on the logo. I can see both sides of the court. Nice little screen up at the top. Nothing like the halo in LA. Nothing like that.
Right.
But I'm looking as I turn to the right. I see Mr. Curry's jersey up in the rafters.
Yep.
The late great Bobby Fields. God bless him. See his jersey up in the rafters, and this is a decent arena, a little bit older arena.
Yep.
But it's okay.
Okay, yeah, no, it is one of the older arenas, but it still works. And just to clarify, the Curry jersey that's retired is Del Curry, not Steph Curry, of course.
Well, we know Steph Curry's jersey is going to be one place and one place
yes,
only.
That's for sure. But there are rumors, and I can't even possibly believe it, that possibly Steph wants to end his career in Charlotte.
No way, no how.
I don't think so either. I totally. No way, no how. I know it. That's what you get with those internet rumors.
And you know what, Scooter? I say that because as hard as Curry is right now of publicizing, bring Clay back so Clay can finish in Golden State, there's no way he's going to do that and then at the end say, okay, well, I'm going back to North Carolina to finish there.
Sure. But for people who don't realize it, Steph is from Charlotte. He grew up there. His dad, Dell, was one of the great sharpshooters of his era with the Hornets, and he went to school locally there at Davidson, and that's where he made his name before coming to the Golden State Warriors. We can get into all of that. We got plenty of time to go around the league, but let's talk some Kings basketball right now. They finished the homestand, got the win over Brooklyn. Way to hold off 126-122. The Kings were undermanned on Sunday, but they showed some really nice things. They also suffered some injuries that we'll get into on Sunday as well.
Yeah, Scooter, we always, battle about this win-loss thing. How did you feel about the win? Were you warm and fuzzy, or were you in the sentiment of, they could have let that one go?
You know what? And that's been the major question, right? Because we know some fans are out there and they're fully into quote-unquote Tankathon and worried about whether they get 14% ping pong balls versus 12.5% or 11. Henry, I'm with you. I'm not built that way. I want to see the Kings win every game, and I'll let the ping pong balls fall where they may, but I don't want to hear about it, We talk about it because it is an issue, and not to address it would not be right. That's what we do here, talking sports radio. It's a big topic, but for you and me, especially you, okay, you're an NBA athlete. You're born to win basketball games. That's what you want to do. Myself, being a competitor, I want to see this team win, and we'll worry about how many wins and losses when they finish, when it's all said and done. I was happy to see them win and to see them light the beam.
And let me tell you this, Scott, being able to be on the road with these guys, you got a chance to talk to them some downtime or whatever, and I've spoke to a couple of assistant coaches, and I've asked them the exact same thing. I'm like, understanding ping pong balls are ping pong balls, but what's you guys' sentiment about just getting every win that you can once you step on the floor? And they're in the exact same boat I'm in, Scott. When you get in between those lines, it's one thing and one thing only on your mind, and that's winning.
Yep.
And for the Sacramento Kings, they have two things, Scott. They're trying to change the culture.
Right.
They're trying to build an identity. You don't want your locker room to start accepting losing. That's the worst thing that you can possibly do.
Yeah, and beyond that, you just do the game wrong. You do it dirty when you do that, right? And I just don't like to see it. And again, it's not about the players. We know every player out there is playing as hard as they can. That goes for the coaches as well. But I just you go to play to win. That should be the case regardless of circumstance.
It really is, And if some fans want you to lose, okay, you know what? They can have that. They can have their say on that end. But as a player and as coaches, it's all about getting a W. And I can't reiterate it no more than what I possibly can. You want this young culture that you're trying to teach. You want these guys to go on and be the legacy of the Kings. you don't want those guys to start saying, okay, it's just another loss, move on to the next.
Right, and we'll get into the young guys here in just a moment, but one final point on it, too. You have people who are paying their hard-earned dollars to come see you, especially in these home games, right? And on Sunday, a ton of kids there with it being a Sunday afternoon game. You want to put smiles on their face. You want to win for the fans as much as anybody else.
You really do. And see, that's the catch-22, Scott. You know, you have some fans like, let's lose.
I know.
You got some fans who are true basketball fans are like, no, we want to see our guys win.
Yep.
And the buy-in, Scott, remember we talk about that all the time, the buy-in. If your young players aren't seeing some sort of success, how are they going to buy into the culture?
Right. You can't expect them to if you don't lead by example.
No.
All right, let's break into the game because obviously we did see injuries to Killian Hayes, Nate Clifford, who unfortunately is going to miss at least a week next few games. He won't be most likely playing on this road trip. Killian Hayes is day-to-day. But we did see another tremendous effort from Max Reno, another 2010 game. I mean, we just have to start calling him Mr. Double-Double here.
You know, first of all, he learned from one of the best. You know, you come into the league and you get to watch Sabonis work at his craft on a daily basis, even though Sabonis has been hurt a lot. But still, watching him go by what he does and having him to be able to bounce things off of definitely puts you in a good spot. And then once Sabonis went down, the young man really got thrown into the fire.
Yep.
He really did. He got thrown into the fire and said, okay, you know, what do you have? And he came out and showed what he has in the tank.
And he keeps showing more and more. And the efficiency, again, I think is something that just really pops off the stats. I mean, he was 10 of 13 from the field. No Westbrook. The thing about Max, the question was, can he get his shots? Can he be as efficient without Russ on the floor? Russ is the one who's kind of been building up the great two-man chemistry that they have.
Right.
But no Westbrook on Sunday. It did not matter. Maxime did not lose a beat.
It really didn't, you know. And Russ is guilty, though, of spoon-feeding Max, no doubt. He is definitely looked out for that young man. But the one thing that I did see, Scott, and I was, you know, very impressed, is that, you know, Max has mostly been a recipient of drives and kicks, drives and lobs. He really hasn't got anything for himself. The other night, he had to go get it for himself.
Yeah.
You know, he had to go get it for himself. So, you know, he's starting to extend his game in that aspect. So I was happy to see the young fella have some productivity in that way.
Yeah, it was fun to watch him play. Obviously, another fan favorite. And Maxime's quickly become a fan favorite in his first year. A guy who's been a fan favorite for the last few years, Malik Monk. He came back. He obviously didn't finish the game on Thursday with that shoulder injury, but came back, season high 32. Malik was all over the floor.
You know, Malik Monk is going to really put a damper on what's going on. And I mean that in a good way.
Yeah.
Because this guy comes off the bench and he gives you everything he has. If he is on, the microwave is hot from the time he steps out on the floor. And Scott, that's what you want. An ultimate guy that you can bring off the bench that's going to change the game, change the speed, change the atmosphere, change everything about what you have going on out there. That's the ultimate description of a sixth man.
No doubt. And again, he almost won the sixth man. You know, many of us thought he should have won it at least one of those 2 seasons. But the thing about Malik this year, and I don't know how you feel about this, and obviously he's missed some games too. It's been a bumpy year for him as it has been for this whole Kings organization. I thought Malik might have been in the best shape of his career this year. I just see him moving around, and I mean, he's always been in good condition, but I don't know. I just felt like this year he's in exceptional shape.
Yeah. Thinking, you know, talking about Malik, he just now stepped out on the floor and going through a pregame warm-up with Bobby Jackson. But, you know, Malik is the type of guy that he gives it to you 100%, and he's unapologetically Malik.
Right, yep.
You know what you're going to get from Malik. It's not going to be no BS. It's not going to be no sugarcoating. He's going to tell you exactly the way Malik feels. And, you know, I like that in a competitor, man, because it lets you know that when he steps on the floor, you know he's with you.
No doubt about it. You know that he's giving maximum effort. It was fun to see John Calipari be able to watch his former athlete at Kentucky there. Of course, Calipari with Arkansas. He'll be at San Jose getting ready to take on Arizona on Thursday night in the regional semifinal. Devin Carter, again, getting back, playing well, some valuable time off the bench.
You know, saw DC today, got a chance to watch him work out a little bit. You know, he's definitely going to get some run. You know, I think, you know, these last couple of games are definitely for the doctor order for him. Hopefully he can stay, you know, injury-free, because the last good game he had, he got injured at the end.
Right.
But, you know, you definitely want to see him on the floor and really get a chance to see what he can do out there on the floor.
Yeah, no doubt. First game back since being injured. Played 27 minutes, 16 points. Did a really nice job, especially in that second half. And, you know, finally, I want to talk about Patrick Baldwin a little bit, too. Two-way player for the Kings they picked up late. I enjoyed watching him play, and I didn't realize how good his outside shot is. I mean, obviously small sample size, hit a couple of threes, but just the look of that shot, I'm intrigued by him and his ability to maybe stretch the floor as a 4.
Yeah, the boy stroke looks good.
It does.
Looks very, very fluid. You know, like I said, he shocked everybody by the way he shot the ball. And it's like, okay, we see what you can do. You know, that throws a definite another wrinkle in what the Kings have going on also, because I honestly think that they looked at him as pretty much a big man shot blocker.
Right.
You know, low post present. But watching him step out beyond that arc, he lets that thing go very well.
No doubt. No hesitation. Has great form. And that certainly stood out on Sunday for the Kings team that finished the homestand with a win, a 41-point fourth quarter to win 126-122. All right, game day's underway. I know it's game night back in Charlotte. Still game day back here in Sacramento, High Flyer, so we'll call it that here in our studios. When we come back, we'll continue to break this one down. We'll look at the Hornets, maybe the hottest team in the league, right up there with Atlanta, who's also on this East Coast swing for Sacramento. We'll get into the road trip. We'll go around the league. We'll get you caught up on everything as well. Game day is always brought to you by Power Business Technology. Experience for yourself how the Power of Family can help you with all your business copier needs. Give them a call today, 1-844-POWER-BZ, or simply go to powercopiers.com. More of Game Day right here, Sactown Sports, 1140.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
A's fans, the 2026 season is coming fast, and single game tickets are on sale now. Be there for an exciting season packed with theme days, giveaways, and firework nights, including bobbleheads, jerseys, hats, and much more. And getting in is easier than ever. Tickets start at just $8 for select April and May games. From opening day to unforgettable summer nights, there's something for everyone at the ballpark. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/tickets and be part of the excitement this 2026 season.
Growing your business? It's all about having the right team on the court. At Bank of Marin, we partner with businesses in the greater Sacramento area, delivering personalized service and local expertise to help you make a slam dunk. Whether it's customized lending or solutions to keep your business growing, you'll benefit from local decision making. Expanding, acquiring additional assets, or building a lasting banking relationship? We're ready for tip-off. Bank of Marin, your local business bank. Visit us at bankofmarin.com. Member FDIC.
Welcome back into Game Day right here, Sactown Sports, 1140. Scott Marsh with you, coming to you live from our Sactown Sports studios. The High Flyer on the road in Charlotte. Game 1 of the 5-game roadie for the Kings. If you want to join the program, today's a great day to give us a call, 916-339-1140. Text us as well, 916-339-1141, 800-920-1140 as well. We'd love to have you be a part of the show. And, of course, we're up and running in our YouTube Sactown Sports page. Go there to YouTube. Get on to Sactown Sports. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Be one of over 15,000 people now a part of our Sactown YouTube family. We would love to have you be a part of it, and you can chat in there all show long as well. For the Kings, as we said, starts off today in Charlotte. Then they head to Orlando on Thursday. The Hawks coming up on Saturday. This is a Hawks team that's won 14 of 16. They're making a big-time run. Back to Brooklyn to take on that Nets team that the Kings just beat yesterday, and then finishing up north in Toronto against the Raptors. So it's a long trip. It's going to span over 10 days, High Flyer. Hope you packed well.
Oh, yeah. Well and heavy.
Both.
Oh, yeah.
It may be March here, and it may be 80, 85, 90 degrees, but it's not that way back east.
Not at all. You know, the sun, like I said, Scott, the sun is out, but it has a different little chill on it.
Yeah, it's a different vibe for sure. High Flyer, give us the insights. Obviously, people always want to know on the road. You're getting access that obviously most of us can't, even reporters, anybody else. Talk about the walkthrough, the video, the scout in preparation for today.
You know, it was a little bit short today. We didn't do a walkthrough. We had shoot around.
Yep.
So it was video, went over a couple things that Charlotte loves to run, you know, a couple of their hot offenses, a couple things that we're going to do on the defensive side. And then we hit the court. And, you know, guys got up shots. We went over a few things with Charlotte on the court. And then it was mostly shot. It really wasn't nothing too much, you know, in depth, because we just seen this team. I mean, it's not like it's been a long time since we haven't seen Charlotte. So, you know, it was very short. Guys got their shots up and, you know, got up out of there. It wasn't intense at all.
Now, good point on that. These teams just played, to your point, a couple of weeks ago back here in Sacramento. Hornets winning that 117-109. This is a Hornets team that is really starting to peak right now. They're in the play-in situation in the Eastern Conference. LaMelo Ball, he's balling. And obviously, everybody knows KYP, know your personnel. He's first and foremost on this Charlotte roster right now.
Oh, yeah. You know, he's definitely the head of the snake. And really, Scooter, he's been playing very good ball at home. You know, he's been lighting it up in this arena. So, you know, expect to see a very aggressive ball, you know, starting this game tonight, because he played well in Sacramento, but I think he had the push to get his numbers, you know.
Yep.
But here on this floor, he really flourishes.
Yeah, the Hornets have won 3 straight, 7 of 10. They're right now tied with Miami for the 9th and 10th spot. Actually, a half game behind Miami in the win column, but they're right there trying to even move up a little bit in the play-in scenario. They could get as high as a playoff spot still. I mean, you look at the East right now. You've got the Raptors, 31 losses. Hawks, who are just playing great ball, 9 of 10 wins. They're 40 and 32. Sixers and Magic both with 33 losses. Then Heat and Hornets, 34 losses. It's not totally inconceivable. A lot of teams have to jump, but they could go all the way from the last play-in spot to a playoff spot still. They've got a lot to play for tonight.
Oh, no doubt. And that's one thing that this Sacramento Kings team has to understand. You know, a lot of teams are looking at them and licking their chops saying, we need this game, because just this game alone can pretty much catapult us to another position in this playoff push. So, you know, at this particular point, they're going to come out and they're going to play, and they're going to play hard. It's not too many teams that's going to look at the Kings and say, well, we're going to come out, we're going to underestimate them and just, you know, roll it out tonight. No, they need these games.
Yeah, that is not going to happen. And, you know, I think that gets back to the other point about, you know, how hard you play and playing for wins and all of that, too. For Sacramento, obviously a totally different scenario, but the Kings in these final 10 games have a chance to play spoiler to a lot of other teams. These games may not, quote-unquote, be important for Sacramento in terms of trying to get into any sort of play-in playoff scenario, but they're important to the other teams that they are playing.
You know what, Scott, that you're exactly right on that. But the one thing that, you know, I take a different approach is that I play for me. And you're not going to come out here and embarrass me on the floor. You know, I have a lot of pride. I have a lot of dignity, a lot of gumption. So when I hit the floor, I really don't care about, you know, your standing. My thing is, I'm going to play my butt off because I'm not going to be embarrassed out here on this floor.
Yeah, it starts with personal pride first and
Right.
foremost. No doubt about that. But I just think that the bigger point I'm trying to make is, the Kings can affect other teams and whether they're in the playoffs or not.
True. You can be a spoiler, exactly. You can look down there and say, okay, fellas, y'all not going to eat off of us. That's true. But like I said, I take mine one step further. No. You're not going to eat off us, but my big thing is, no, you're not going to eat off of me.
Yep, no
I understand
doubt.
that.
Hey, it always starts with you, Matt, right? It's always,
You're not going to eat off of me. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, the Kings are going to try and stop LaMelo Ball from eating tonight. He had 30 points last time out in the win here in Sacramento. But, the interesting thing, if you follow Charlotte, the one thing that they're really getting impressed about LaMelo that really hadn't been seen before is he's getting after it on the defensive end. It's not just the offense people are talking about LaMelo Ball right now. It's his willingness to put it out on both sides of the floor.
Scooter, defense is all about how much you want to play defense. All of these guys that's in the NBA, I'm sorry, they're athletic freaks. So there's nothing on the floor that you can't do physically, all right? It's all about, do you want to do it? So when you start talking about playing better defense and making rotations and blocking shots and grabbing rebounds, all NBA players are equipped to do that. It's just the fact that, do they want to do it? And LaMelo's starting to find a little edge and getting steals and getting out in transition. Getting turnovers, getting out in transition. Yep. All of those things help you out.
For sure. And obviously Brandon Miller, their outstanding young player out of Alabama, has been playing well for them. We know about the rookie Knipple, who just might well win the Rookie of the Year. It might be his Duke teammate, Cooper Flagg. We'll see how the voting comes down. But I think if you are looking for somebody over 82 games who has broken Keegan Murray's record of most threes by a rookie, if it wasn't for Cooper Flagg in the name, and I'm not saying he's not deserving, but I just think if you looked at it from a number standpoint and Cooper Flagg didn't have all that hype coming out of Duke himself, Knipple very well could be Rookie of the Year all by himself.
No, I'm with you on that, Scott. And if you ask a lot of the execs, a lot of the guys that's up top, they got Knipple in front.
Right. It's going to be an interesting ballot, and it could be one of these years where it's co-Rookies of the Year. That's pretty rare, but especially with them both being from Duke, who knows? But, this guy can absolutely light it up from outside. We know that.
That would be cute, seeing that they both came from Duke and, they could be co. But I'm with you. As far as you talking about can light it up, this dude shoots with the best of them, coming off screens. Yeah. I really wanted to see, was he just a catch-and-shoot guy, a guy that stays in the corner? No, he can go get his own shot, and he likes getting downhill. I watched a couple of times when they came to G1, how he pump fake guys, took 2 dribbles and got into the middle and pulled up. So he just isn't a catch-and-shoot type player. He can definitely go get his.
Yeah, he's got a good all-around game. There's no question about that. Obviously, the Kings thinking about Charlotte tonight. Let's just look out on the road trip a little bit for Sacramento. As we said, you're going to be out there for a while. Orlando, who's playing for their playoff lives on Thursday. A Hawks team that's playing as good as any team in the league right now. 14 of 16. They're doing it without Ice Trey. Things are hot in Atlanta still. And then obviously finish up in Brooklyn before going to a Raptors team that, again, is fighting for a playoff spot. And that kind of even just accentuates the point further with everything we just listed out in the Eastern Conference. 4 of the 5 teams are fighting for their playoff lives.
Right. The Kings don't have an easy slate. Not at all. They don't have a situation to where they're running up against a bunch of teams like them that basically is shut down. They're not going to make it. Their fate is what it is, and they're just playing out the rest of the season. No, they're going up against teams that, are fighting to stay in, fighting to move up. So, yeah, you better bring your A game, or guess what? Embarrassment is in the broad.
Yep, it is. All right, that's the road trip for the Kings. We'll continue to break it down more when we come back. But we also do want to go around the league. Some other league news will get you caught up on everything else going on in the association, and it'll let you know about the other games going on. Tonight, of course, it is a national TV night on Peacock, limited schedule. Tonight, we'll let you know about all of that. Game day is being brought to you by the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento. Again, what a great community organization we have here in Sacramento. Big Brothers Big Sisters, what they do is they pair volunteer adults with kids in our community who need an outside mentor in their lives. If you have a heart of service, you want to do something good for a kid in our community, consider Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Simply go to bbbs-sac.org. Again, bbbs-sac.org. Get all the information on how you can help impact a life of a child. More of Game Night right after this. Sactown Sports, 1140.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead. Outstanding ball movement by Sacramento.
Every triple, every jam, every Kings win.
Sabonis with the jam over the Joker. He's got the three-point shot.
Get your Kings fix all season long.
Right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings.
Here's a steal by Fox. The breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, this is Henry Turner, a.k.a. the High Flyer. I've done a lot of amazing things on the basketball floor, but now it's your turn to be amazing. For more than 55 years, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento has helped out the youth beat many odds. Too many littles, especially boys, are still waiting for volunteers, Big Brothers. Volunteers to spend at least 4 to 6 hours a month with local youth who needs guidance and support. So donate your time to Big Brothers and Big Sisters of the greater Sacramento area. Get involved. It's easy as a layup. Call 916-646-9300.
When life calls for a little extra, a kitchen upgrade, paying off debt, or that dream vacation, Valley Strong Credit Union is here to help. With a Valley Strong home equity loan, you can tap into your home's value with competitive rates, flexible terms, and local guidance you can trust. Get approved in as little as 5 minutes, with funding in as few as 5 days. Your goals are within reach. Visit valleystrong.com to get your offer today. Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your possibilities. Equal housing lender, NMLS number 456506.
Welcome back to the Game Day right here, Sactown Sports 1140. Scott Marshall on with the High Flyer, Henry Turner. Game 73 for the Kings in Charlotte. They finish up the 2 games against the Hornets tonight. Charlotte looking for the sweep. The Kings trying to split things in the Emerald City here tonight. We'll get more on Kings and Hornets in a little bit. Let's go around the league, High Flyer. I want to get your thoughts on some of the other news going on right now. We talk a lot about Giannis and what's going on with the Bucks. It's been just a tumultuous year in Milwaukee. The latest now, as we were discussing on a prior Game Day show, Giannis out right now, but he's coming back. He wants to play. The Bucks have wanted to shut him down for the remainder of the season. Now the NBA Players Association getting involved with this, and they've told the Bucks, you got to play Giannis. You can't sit him out the remainder of the year, implying that Milwaukee is trying to tank and damage the NBA's integrity by shutting down the Greek Freak.
I think that's more so of a situation to make Milwaukee get up off of him.
Yep.
You know, everybody knows Milwaukee's not going anywhere.
No.
Hell, Milwaukee ain't trying to tank no harder than anybody else. Okay, what about some of these other teams that have shut down their players?
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
I think it's more so of Giannis really pushing the envelope, letting Milwaukee know that whatever you guys are doing, I'm going against the grain because I'm ready to get out of here.
Yeah, no, the situation has gone from good to bad. Now it's starting to get ugly. It's getting ugly in Milwaukee, and I can't really picture a scenario with Giannis coming back to Milwaukee next year at this point.
I can't either. Not at all. You know, the thing about it, especially if he's on the mission of trying to win a championship. Milwaukee's not going to be nowhere close to that.
No doubt. And Giannis, again, really wanting out. Now, this is a totally different scenario, but I only mention it because it's kind of similar in the respective, Kings fans wondering if we're going to see Keegan Murray again. First of all, we need to see if he's fully healthy. We're still waiting for a full reevaluation on him. Obviously, games are coming down to a minimum here. What's your thought process? Do you think we'll see Keegan again this season?
Now, that I don't know, because even in shoot-around and video session and everything, Keegan's here.
Right.
But Keegan is not going through the motions. Keegan was not out there shooting the basketball. Keegan was not, in the shooting games. Keegan wasn't in none of that. So, that goes to question what type of physical shape is Keegan in, really?
Yeah. Well, we certainly know he's not close to coming back if he's not doing those things. That's the one thing we know, yeah.
Well, he didn't do it today.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see as the road trip progresses what you see along the road trip, and we'll keep asking you about that. Obviously, games running out. The Kings just with 10 games left. Let's go around and the NBA Players Association. They've been busy not only trying to help out Giannis, but now they're calling for a 65-game rule change. Of course, you have to play a minimum 65 games to qualify for any of the postseason awards, including All-NBA, MVP, and not only is it an honor status for the players, but it affects contracts. We know you can go from a max to a super max if you make an All-NBA team. We're talking millions and millions of dollars in some cases. And now with Cade Cunningham being out with the collapsed lung, he's not going to make it to 65 games. So he will be somebody who's not qualifying for All-NBA, even though he probably should be at least first-team All-NBA. Some people think he's the MVP of the league right now.
Right. And you know what? They were just talking about somebody else who got, I know it wasn't Luka, but it was somebody who just got ejected from a game. And that might, jeopardize them for that 65th game.
Interesting.
I forgot who it was, and I was like, oh, yeah, right, that does come into play. I forgot who it was. You know what? It might have been Jaylen Brown.
Okay. Well,
it might have been Jaylen Brown who got ejected, and definitely is on the bubble about being in the conversation of MVP, but that's going to affect how many games he has.
No doubt. We'll look that up, too. In Cunningham's case, he's played 61 games. With the collapsed lung, he's not expected back for a while. He probably won't be able to get to 65. He's having such an incredible year. We know some of the other players who are so close as well. The Joker, Wembanyama skirting with that 65-game limit as well. And in the case when you have legitimate injuries and you're not just sitting out for load management, it's pretty hard to say somebody doesn't deserve a postseason honor that could affect not only the honor, but their contract.
Right. And I actually think like Luka's on the bubble also.
Yeah, certainly with ejections, for sure.
Yeah, Luka's on the bubble.
Yeah. So, Luka, yeah, you're right. He certainly appears he'll get above that, but another guy who could be pretty close as well on that list. So it's something I think the league will adjust it. They put it in obviously because they got tired of seeing load management, right? They didn't want to see the Kawhi Leonard sit out 25 games and still get honored for load management. But this is a different scenario, and I think the league's got to find some way to thread the needle.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be tough because it's going to have to be something that's probably going to have to be half and half. Because half of it's about load management, and then the other half of it is about, guys' contracts and being able to be first team with All NBA or wherever else it is.
Yeah, it's not easy for the league. It's another thing that's really tough to manage. And you're right, Brown, he got ejected back in the Spurs game March 10th. And so that is affecting possibilities with his number of games of eligibility. So that's an interesting subplot right there. Speaking of MVP, did you have a chance to hear what Wemby had to say why he should be MVP last night, High Flyer?
No, I didn't.
All right, let's play. We've got the comments for you. I thought it was just awesome to listen to Victor Wembanyama state his case as to why he should be MVP of the league.
What are your merits? What would you say what are your three campaign speech items?
My first one would be that defense is 50% of the game, and that it is undervalued so far in the MVP race. Because I believe I'm the most impactful player defensively in the league. Second argument would be that we almost swept OKC in the season, and we dominated them 3 times with their real team and 4 times with more rotation players. And my third argument would be that offense impact is not just points.
There you go with Victor Wembanyama. If he was in court, he was making his final arguments. He made some pretty good ones.
and he should have said, because I deserve it, damn it.
Because I'm the best player, period. Oh, man, he is so good, so young, and he obviously is a generational player. I have a hard time arguing against any of that, and I love the fact that he's out there making his own case for it.
I love what he said when he said defense is half of the game, which is absolutely true. And he said, it seems like in today's game, defense is sorely undervalued, which it is true.
Yes.
And, to get his trifecta together, the dude probably is the most impactful player on the defensive side of the ball.
I don't think there's any question he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year.
Right.
And the points are all great. I think he's also, I won't say he's taking a dig at anybody, but if you want to compare the Joker, who might be the best player on the planet, and we know what he does on the offensive end, still Wembanyama does so much more defensively than Nikola Jokic.
Right, because he's, he protects the rim probably better than anybody else in the league.
Yep. And then the other piece of it, which I love too, talking about how they've swept Oklahoma City and kind of putting that reason why he should be above Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the defending NBA MVP from last year.
Well, that's a can of worms that he didn't open up now. Because if you don't come out and really do what you have to do against OKC, they're going to bring that back up.
Yeah, well, there's no doubt that statement is going to be on every bulletin board if they match up in the Western Conference Finals.
Yes, you're going to have to really stand on business with that one.
Yeah, that video is going to be running all throughout the facility throughout May and June.
Yeah, you better be ready.
Yeah. What do you think about between those two? I mean, Shai Gilgeous, he's not underrated. Everybody knows how great he is. He was the MVP for Pete's sake. He broke Wilt Chamberlain's record, still counting 20-plus point games. I think it's at 129, maybe 130 now. How would you rate those two right now if you had to vote and it was just those two?
They're neck and neck, no doubt.
Yep.
They're neck and neck because, Shai was the MVP last year, and he's playing just about equally as good as he did last year or even better. And, Wemby is doing his thing. So it's definitely, for me, a two-man race. I did have Cabe up there, but understanding that the injury probably is going to knock him out. I did have Jaylen Brown up there also, but those two have definitely stretched themselves out a little bit more than the rest of the players.
I think they have, and it's simply because they're winning. I mean, the Thunder have won 12 straight. Spurs have won 9 of their last 10. They've won 22 of their last 24. We talk about the MVP. Should it be about the best player on the best team or just the best player? In this case, it could be the best player, and they happen to be on the best team.
Yeah, I think they check off both boxes with that.
Yeah.
They're definitely the best players, but best players usually win, and they're doing that.
Yeah, they're doing that and then some. Some bad news for the Golden State Warriors. Moses Moody, torn patellar tendon. Yeah, it was hard to watch, and you feel terrible for him. He's having his best season in a Warriors uniform. Steph Curry trying to get back. The Warriors just too many injuries, and losing Moses Moody, who's been playing so well. I mean, I won't call it a death blow by itself to any type of run they might want to make.
But
it's not going to help.
No, but it's a big part.
It is.
It's a big part when you have Jimmy Buckets, who's already down.
Yep.
Porzingis definitely having come in and really, pushed the needle as far as they thought he was going to do. So losing Moses Moody is a big part. That's heavy.
It is really heavy. The Warriors are having one of those years, and obviously Kings fans can relate to the amount of injuries. We'll get into that in the injury report coming up. One player coming back from suspension, of course, the suspension for banned substance use. Paul George is done with his 25-game suspension. He'll be back with Philadelphia. We saw them last week, albeit we didn't see Embiid, we didn't see Maxey. Getting Paul George back, first step. Maybe Philadelphia can get back intact in time and still make a run at this thing.
Yeah, this will be Philly's last-ditch effort to show what they're going to be able to do. But you know what's crazy out there, Scott? And I just seen this earlier today. I was watching Sports Center before we got on the bus.
Yep.
They were talking about, is Boston better without JT. They said since JT has come back, the chemistry in the mixture is off.
Oh, man. I don't know. High flyer. I just find that to be a ridiculous question. I mean,
for me too.
You're obviously going to have transition anytime anybody comes back. The most notable thing in my mind was, remember the year Chris Webber got hurt, right? And the Kings went on and won 60 regular season games, but Webber came back for the playoffs, and people were, questioning, are the Kings better without Chris Webber? And that's just never the case. And it's not the case. The Celtics are not a better team without Jason Tatum. It might take some time for them to come back to being that team, but come on, that's silly.
But it's just funny how the media is so quick to throw that out there. Even a great player like Jason Tatum, they did the same thing with LeBron. Right. Austin Reeves and Luka plays better without LeBron on the floor. Yeah. They're 20 points better when LeBron is out there.
Come on.
They really don't take into accountability of the type of attention this dude gets just by being out there on the floor.
For sure. And I think that's in part why people kind of backlash at the media, because you make statements like that. You've got one of the world's best players, and you're trying to make an argument you're better without him. That to me doesn't really make any sense. You mentioned the Lakers. They finally lost in Detroit last night, so the Pistons able to win without Cade Cunningham. The Lakers took that to the wire before losing, but still the Lakers show 9 of the last 10. Should we put Luka in any sort of conversation? We mentioned him. If he gets to 65, maybe not the MVP, but first team All-NBA?
Oh, no doubt. He'll definitely be first team All-NBA just because of who he is. Yeah. As far as putting him in the question of MVP, I don't think he's going to be in that one anymore.
I don't think you can make the case over Shea, Gilgeous-Alexander, or Wemby at this point. Not at all. All right, that does our look around the league. 3 other games going on tonight in the association. You've got New Orleans in New York. You've got Orlando in Cleveland. Denver is in Phoenix to round out a Monday night in the NBA. We'll take the break. When we come back, we've got to get to our Who's on Fire segment, brought to you by the Firehouse Restaurant. Put it in the bank, Bank of Marin. We'll break down Kings and Hornets, first of 5 on the road for Sacramento. It's game day right here, Sactown Sports, 1140.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis, put the frosting on the cake, put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a 2-hand flush, makes it 114-106.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at PowerCopiers.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank Larosa.
In golf, a tee can refer to the area where you hit your opening shot on any hole, or it can be the little piece of wood or plastic that holds your ball off the ground so you can hit your tee shot. Now, if you're not already confused, let me try harder. In earlier times, golfers made tees from little heaps of sand, and the sand was kept in little boxes called tee boxes, which gives us the historical connection and gets us back to where we started. Various types of reusable tees were invented over the years, made of rubber, cork, or paper. But the first commercial tee like we know today was the Ready Tee, invented by an American dentist in 1921. It was white wood with red top, so they were easy to find. Today's tees are made of wood or plastic and come in many colors, and there are anti-slice tees, friction-free tees, brush tees, flexible tees, and even biodegradable tees. I'm partial to a tee with contrasting color measuring points, so my ball is teed up the same height every time. Check your local pro shop for lots of choices. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Hi, this is Adam Ortner, co-owner of the historic Firehouse Restaurant in Old Sacramento. We're celebrating 65 years of excellence this season. Come visit us where our motto is guests first. Planning a wedding, event, or corporate outing? In addition to our main dining area, we have 5 other private rooms available for gatherings small or large. For more information and menu options, contact our dedicated events team today by visiting our website at firehouseoldsac.com.
Carmichael Dave letting you know it's no secret the world feels unpredictable lately. One thing will never change, Hoblet's mission to drop high prices. Right now, and only at Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland, you can get 4.99% financing for up to 84 months on all new vehicles in stock and keep every factory rebate that you qualify for when you finance with Hoblet's preferred lender. That's 4.99% financing. You keep all the factory rebates you qualify for, not one or the other like other dealers are offering. Only Hoblet has fought to get you a deal this good. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. 4.99% APR available on select new vehicles in stock while supplies last. Pricing and savings may vary by model and trim. Financing on approved credit through Hoblet Preferred Lending for well-qualified buyers. $60,000 max finance, approximately $14.14 per thousand financed. Residency restrictions and lender membership requirements may apply. See dealer for details.
Welcome back in the game day right here, Sactown Sports 1140. Scott Marshall on with the high flyer, Henry Turner. Getting you ready for Kings and Hornets. It's a 4 o'clock tip. 3:30 with Kings Live pregame. Jason Ross will be in for that. It's time now to get you to our Who's on Fire segment. It's brought to you by the Firehouse Restaurant, an iconic restaurant here in our capital city, located in Old Town Sac off 2nd Street. There we go. Great place to go before the game. Get your game day bites. Valet parking, just $15. Always a great place to get a meal. And it's a great place to hold an event as well. 5 different event rooms ready to take on your next corporate or personal event. All right, High Flyer, who do you want to put Who's on Fire tonight?
Wow. I mean, kind of questionable on that one, Scooter. I would say, you still got to roll with OKC. OKC is on fire.
They are on fire. 12 straight, that's on fire.
Yeah, they are on fire, man. I mean, they're getting the job done.
They are, no argument there. I'm going to go with Wemby being on fire for stepping up and making his case that we just listened to about why he's the MVP of the league. As I said in the last segment, I love that he comes out, he has the confidence, he has the bravado to state his case. He was asked to state his case why he's the MVP, and he just rattled off 3 key reasons. And again, there was no anything you could argue about his logic. It was spot on.
It's funny, man, that we were in having breakfast and we was talking to Max, and we were talking about, being on the Olympics and French basketball. And he walked out the door and he was like, yeah, French basketball is in pretty good shape. I said, why you say that? He said, because I'm on it, damn it.
And don't you love to see Max have so much fun? It's like the greatest thing with the Beam team and the glasses and what he's doing. He's not only playing well, he's having fun. You can see the confidence growing.
Considering what all we've been through, yes, it's great to see him have fun.
For sure. And that kind of begs the question, 2028, who do you favor to win the gold medal? Is it Team USA or is it Team France at this point?
Or Team Canada.
Yeah, Team Canada's rolling too.
Hey, it's a toss-up, man, between them 3.
I agree with you. I mean, it'll be wide open in Los Angeles, but if it wasn't for Steph Curry being Steph Curry in Paris, the U.S. probably loses to France. And Steph Curry's not going to play this time around.
I'm telling you, because if it wasn't for the Stepherless one,
exactly,
it might have turned out to be a different type of situation. I'm with you on that. And then it might depend upon who all we take.
True. And Wemby just a couple more years down the road. Can you imagine if he continues to improve, as if that's possible?
You know what? That would be crazy. But I will tell you this: I would love to see our young Max Reyno.
Yep.
Go out and be able to be out and go and compete for his country, man. Yeah. I would love to see that.
It would be awesome to see it. He's making a case for it the way he's playing right now for Sacramento. He'll be out there tonight against Charlotte, but as we mentioned, High Flyer, he'll be one of just 8 players going out for the Kings tonight. It's another shortened bench as we've seen of late. The injury report is pretty thick for the Kings. No Russell Westbrook again. He'll be out with the foot. Fortunately, we saw Nate Clifford roll the ankle. He's going to be out at least for 4 games before he gets reevaluated. Killian Hayes, that left toe, isn't scheduled to play tonight as well. So we're going to see a small bench. And again, the one thing for Doug Christie, it makes the rotations pretty simple. There's not many rotations he can make.
Yeah, we were joking at breakfast, and Doug was like, what's the rule when that number 5 guy foul out?
Oh, right. You play with 4.
You know what? I actually think the rule is you could still play with 5, but every time that guy makes a foul, it's a technical shot and the ball.
Ramsey, who is our rules analyst back here in the studio, and also our engineer, confirms, that's the call on that one. So I'll take that. I've never seen that. Have you ever seen that?
I've never seen it either. But, hey, it's a first time for everything, and it's a rule for everything. So you never know.
Let's hope it's not tonight.
Hey, if it comes to be, it comes to be. It's going to be what it's going to be.
That's true. We know one person who will be in there. We don't talk about him a lot because he is a veteran, and we don't know how he'll fit in going forward with the Kings. But Doug McDermott's been a pleasure to watch coming off the bench for Sacramento.
Hey, catch and shoot.
Exactly.
Quick
release.
Shoot.
Quick release.
A guy who understands his value, a guy that understands his job. Dougie McBuckets has been a catch-and-shoot guy ever since he came into the league. Yep. So that's exactly what he does. As soon as he gets the ball, he lets that thing go.
Yeah, the ultimate professional, the ultimate coach's son. By the way, his dad's retiring at Creighton as well.
Wow,
a longtime head coach there. So shout out to the McDermott family for that. All right, how about our Bank of Marin putting it in the bank tonight? What do we put in the bank?
I'm going with the big fella. We need that double-double. I'm going with Max Reno. We need that double-double. You want to show me that you're going to be the next coming? You're the next big thing? You're the next guy that's going to take us to where we need to be? Max, you better give me a double-double.
Yep, all right. That is cool, and I think that's always a safe bet. Precious Achiuwa, who's also been a double-double. He's another guy who's out tonight for Sacramento High Flyer. We won't see him.
It's funny. Everybody's here, but they're not available.
I know it.
We're going to have more guys on the sideline in street clothes than we are in the regular uniform.
The flight was full, and the chairs are going to be full on that Kings sideline tonight. There just won't be a lot of jerseys.
Hey, they can give me a 10-day, baby. I'm ready.
Yeah, you're always ready. You keep yourself in great shape. That's the one thing. If you got called out, if DC pointed to the broadcast section, you would be running down there with your cape on.
Hey, you know what? Hey, somebody clear out number 9. Let's go.
Let's go. Time for the Kings to go tonight, looking for win number 20, trying to get this road trip started on the right note against a Charlotte team that still has playoff aspirations. So that's going to do it for game night. As always, a pleasure to work with you, High Flyer, and I'm happy for you to be on this road trip. Enjoy the calls of all these games coming up.
Yes, sir.
All right, coming up next, it will be Kings Live pregame. Jason Ross will be here with the High Flyer, who will sit at his broadcast perch in Charlotte.